Hey, good morning. Welcome to Thursday Hobby Evolution. We're back after a brief sabbatical. Episode, I think, 307. Um, did not get online live yesterday morning. It was Wednesday's trash day, and my yard looks absolutely horrendous. So I was running sprinklers yesterday morning. So that's I keep talking about, like, you take for granted all of these little things that add up and take away so much time. It's insane. And I even knew the entire 15 months that I was working from home, I knew 5 hours per week was going to be driving to and from the office. That's going to cut back my time during my lunch period because working from home, you can just walk away from your desk, throw something in the microwave, go back to work, and you still have that full lunch hour. Um, I've got to take at lunch. Another thing that's going to pull me away. I've got to take grass clippings from last week over to the place. My yard looks crazy, awful. So I have to run sprinklers. Where uh, working from home, I could just go outside, move the sprinklers, come back in, take 60 seconds. I don't have that. I can't do that from the office. So it's all of these little things that are just adding up, that's taking away time. And I think that's a good thing. So I'm going to transition. I think that's a good thing that it's taking away my time from the hobby, because I'm not feeling that, what we hear so much, hobby fatigue, hobby burnout. So I want to transition there. But first, welcome Herman. Good morning, Mark, Dan, Brad, Zach. It's good to be back in the saddle and chatting with you on a Thursday morning. So with that said, we hear a lot about the hobby burnout, the hobby fatigue, and I never experienced that. Um, and I think that's just the way my brain works, the way my mindset. I think what really helps is that my collection is focused, super focused on Chicago Cubs only. I only buy Cubs cards, and I only buy Cubs cards that basically I want. I'm not going to spend, a friend of mine has a really nice Brennan Davis Bowman, first Bowman Chrome color auto PSA 10, but it's like a $500 card. And I said, I love the card, but I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on a prospect when I can use that money on in a stat. Like, I could buy two Chris Bryant first Bowman Chrome autos slabbed. I can buy some really nice pre-war cards, vintage. So while I do like the prospecting game, it's that part is, I don't really, I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on the unknown. But I haven't had the hobby burnout. My friend who has this, he's just as deep in the hobby as we are, and we were texting back and forth the other day. He said, I'm getting some hobby burnout. And part of the reason, he says, was because everything's dropping in prices. And he's stuck holding the bag on some of this stuff that has just drastically been reduced. There's less people buying. And so that's leading to part of his hobby burnout, his hobby fatigue. And so my title today, A Guide to Panic Selling Trading Cards, is actually a little tongue-in-cheek. Zach's dogs are barking, first time wearing hard-soled dress shoes for a full day. I still haven't slipped on. So we have a pretty loose dress code. I'm in the office throughout the day, and it's just my coworkers and then I guess whoever else is in the office building. So we have a pretty loose dress code, and it's actually loosened up quite a bit from our previous management team. So I can actually, I'm wearing shorts and a polo to work today. It's going to be 90 degrees. It's hot. I take like a noon walk. We have a path around our office building, and so I take a walk, and it's pretty warm. I wore jeans and a long sleeve shirt the other day, and broke out in a pretty good sweat doing my 15-minute walk. Been at work since 5 a.m. Needed a break anyway. You could buy 100 Cubs common ball autos. Absolutely. I'm a quantity guy. You could buy another 1,000 Rushells. I bought 1,230 Rick Rushell 78 taps for $10. Wish I could teach in shorts. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt today to work. So a little tongue in cheek, a guide to panic selling, because last night I was, or maybe this morning, last night or this morning, I was perusing. I think it was a Facebook. It was in a card group, and somebody was selling 30 Bowman Blaster boxes, 2021 Bowman Blaster boxes, for like $930 shipped. That comes out to like $31 for a blaster box. So that's not flipper prices, and I'm like still like I've checked to see if they're still available. Like, and he said, "Or best offer," so I could get that price down. Maybe get those for $30 shipped. That's what I paid, and I'm not paying tax on a Facebook group, so that's less than what I was paying Target or Tops. I think Target was $25, but Tops was $30. So I could get those at $30. Now that guy's losing money. And I know there's variables where maybe he doesn't have sales tax in his state. He could have had the Target red card, yada, yada, yada. But essentially, he's going to pay like $30 in shipping for 30 blaster boxes. And my thought process on this is I've been a seller throughout this hobby boom, and I'm not stuck on anything that I have. What I have in my, inventory, that what I bought to resell was low dollar stuff. We're talking 25-cent cards, dollar cards. I put $200 in basketball cards. That's just a long-term play. Short-term, long-term. Long-term as in like the next, 3, 4, 5 months. Once basketball picks up, the basketball market will pick back up. Right now, it's probably the lowest it's been in a few years. It'll pick up. Now, it's not going to go back to 2020 market prices, but basketball will pick back up. There's going to be a resurgence in basketball cards from what we're seeing now. It's not going to go back to 2020, or maybe even not to the 2018-19 levels that basketball was crazy high. But this is probably the lowest point you'll see in basketball cards until this time next year. So there's going to be a big boom, and the prices are going to go up. So I've got a couple Ja Morants, and I'm just holding. I've got the monster box of rookie cards from the last couple of years. Somebody has a good summer league or preseason, boom, time to sell. So I was a seller for the most part throughout the pandemic, so I'm not sitting on a lot of stuff. I don't need to panic sell to like take advantage of, the ship is sinking, I need to get off now. And a lot of people are. So now is a good time to buy, because there are a lot of panic sellers, like the Bowman Blaster boxes. Now, I looked up, and I think, and I don't know, I can't compare numbers, but I could probably find it on the old Google, but comparing the print runs from 2020 to 2021 Bowman, there was an uptick on mega boxes, but it wasn't as dramatic as I originally thought it was. So yes, there was an increase in production, but it's not like, it's nowhere near what the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s print runs were. So with that said, I looked at recent sold prices for 2020 Bowman Blaster boxes, and they're selling for like $70, $80. And that's just 1 year. The further you go back, but there's also times in the past where the Bowman Blaster boxes aren't really worth much more than what they were at the time, $20. Now they're, 25 to 30. So, but I still think it's a great buy. And, that's what I'm fighting with this morning. Should I lay down $900 on 30 Bowman Blaster boxes just to sit on them for a year? I've done that. I do that every Black Friday. I spend a lot of money on Black Friday sales. And guess what? Sealed wax almost always rises from those sale prices. Those Black Friday blowout sales, uh, best investment. I'm going to use the I word. Best investment buying some sealed wax at blowout Black Friday sales. And I mean, you can double your money in like 3 months. And I mean, this last Black Friday was in the middle of the hobby peak, and I still more than doubled my money buying sealed boxes from blowout cards Black Friday sales at the peak when everybody's like, oh, there's no good sales. The Heritage mega boxes from 2019 Heritage High Number. I bought those for $40. I sold my remaining boxes. I wish I would have kept them all sealed. I was selling them for $150, and they were gone months ago. So I mean, in 3-4 months, I basically tripled my money during the peak of the hobby. And I think those prices have probably settled a little bit. The 2016 Topps Update mega boxes, I bought those for I think $20 or $25. And those I sold them all in like a week for $60 a box. So sealed wax, and that's what I keep going back, and it's like this time next year there's going to be a breakout player. Somebody's going to blow out from this class, and blow out in a good sense. It could be Liover Peguero because he's sitting on top of the pile. It could be Austin Martin. It could be some of these guys. Right now, it's actually, in terms of Bowman, first Bowman, this is at release kind of a weak class because Austin Martin and Blaze Jordan are the keynote guys, the top guys, where they're nowhere near the level of Jason Dominguez or Wander Franco. So at release, it's, and I think that's probably why we're seeing nobody really going after Bowman, and we're seeing some of these panic sellers selling them at cost. And so it's a part of me like next year, one of these other guys, and can I find one? Yolbert Sanchez from Zach's White Sox. Maybe he blows out in the next year, and he's like the guy in 2022. And that's the fun with Bowman. So it's a part of me, like, now that I talk it out, it's like, I'm going to end this video today and go buy those Bowman blasters because, and I say long-term, it's not even really a long-term. It's like a year. And you can do really well. So that, with that thought, I'm going to go back to the chat here. Zach, going back to the dress code, COVID has made office dress much different. I was in a suit and the CFO I met was in jeans and a polo. Dan says, let me know if you can. Friday Night Live for Dan. I will have to let you know. I am like so the whole back to, and I'm on week 2 now, and I don't know. I can't make any plan. Like, I can't even plan a live show for tomorrow because I don't know what's going on. So, it'll have to be a wait and see for me on that. So oh boy. So I'm having all sorts of issues getting doing some marketing, 1 Million Cups project marketing. So I just got an email. Awesome design, 40-year-old versions on Twitter made an awesome design for a t-shirt. And I went, I couldn't get them printed on, first I went to Custom Ink. I went to several different online, and there were too many colors. So I went to Uber Prints, and I'm like, hey, was able to get this done. I just got an email, and they said there's too many colors, so they had to cancel my order. So I've been trying to find, so you see right over there above right by my index finger, the 1 Million Cubs, 1millioncubs.net. I want that printed on a koozie. Do you know how difficult it is to get 2 colors printed on a koozie? Like, I reached out to a local company and they're like, sorry, we can only do one color on a koozie. I've done now it can be done, but they cost even for like the small little flimsy collapsibles. And I have one here. Let's do that's an insurance company, so I want to do a good one. Let's do a Cubs one. Club 400, something like this, and you see it's just white on blue. It's just one color. You can get these done, but for something like this with multiple colors, it's like $2 a koozie, and I'm just not putting down that kind of money on a cheap can koozie. So I may have to go back to the drawing board and just do like a one color design. So I am having all sorts of issues getting stuff done at a price point that's reasonable. So I guess it's back to the drawing board. Let's go back to the chat here. Porter opened my mail when I was out, and I think Rick sent me a rack for Father's Day. Carlton Fisk auto in a Sox jersey. Very nice. Florida, if that is the case. Wait until you see the football box prices. Yeah, Brad, football's already on the upward trajectory. My predictions were way wrong going into 2021. Had to remember what year it was. I thought 2021 was going to be the year of baseball. I thought there was going to be this huge, baseball was going to be the new, I thought this year in baseball was going to be what we saw the last couple years in basketball, the basketball card market. And that has not been the case. Now, it was initially for Series 1. We had that run on top Series 1. But what we saw on the retail side, that was football and basketball. From what I've seen at the card shows that I've been to, football is already picking up steam. And what are they? I think they're doing the mandatory workouts now. And I only know that because I'm following the Aaron Rodgers saga. And I'm only following, as a Bears fan, the Aaron Rodgers saga because I live in Wisconsin and all my coworkers are Packers fans. And I'm really, really enjoying the Aaron Rodgers drama. And I give my coworkers crap every day because on the football field, as a Bears fan, I don't have much to give crap about. So any jab I can get in, I do so. So OTAs or mandatory workouts, whatever. So now we're about a month away from training camp starting. So it's only gonna give more steam to football. So I think football is gonna be really big this year, similar to what we've seen in basketball. But I was wrong about baseball going into the year, and it kind of fizzled. Mark says Blaze is a ways away. I think the hype is his name. Mark, I think the home run, he has that home run power. He reminds me of Blaze Jordan. Reminds me of a guy the Cubs had, and he was a second-round pick for the Cubs, probably in 2004, 2002, 3, somewhere in there. His name was Brian DePirac, and he was a home run hitter, much like Blaze Jordan. But Brian DePirac was a guy that even when he was drafted, scouts said he's either gonna top out in Double-A or he's gonna be a 40 home run hitter in the big leagues. And guess what? He topped out. I don't know if he might have reached Triple-A, but he basically did top out at Double-A, and it was all about his home run power. But he struck out a lot, and so. As soon as I read the scouting report on Blaze Jordan, I'm like, oh, it's Brian DePirac for the Red Sox. So I can't get rid of my Blaze Jordan fast enough because I don't have faith in those type of scouting reports. Brad's gonna hit Sport Lots for some Bowman first. Zach says Yolmer Sanchez was with the White Sox. Texas Card Dude, I tried to get my old logo on a t-shirt and the cost was stupid. Yeah, it's all about the multi-colors. And so the t-shirt design had 5 colors on it. And so that's just impossible for some of these printers, the koozies. So I'm going to have to come up with something a little different to do this marketing. The Rodgers drama combined with the Bucks is making some sad cheeseheads. I'm kind of sad about the Bucks because I like Giannis, and I'm like a semi Dan, I'll check 1 hour tees. I'll check to see what they have. Um, I'm because I'm a huge Giannis fan, and I when I moved to Wisconsin, I'm like, I never really had an NBA team. Like as a kid, as a little kid, like the first Bulls run, I was kind of a Bulls fan, but then Shaq came on, and I was an Orlando Magic fan. I was a huge Orlando Magic fan. Shaq, Penny, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott. I love those teams. And then then it was kind of like I was the anti-Bulls fan. Like then I didn't like Jordan. I thought Pippen was a crybaby. Um, so I haven't really been a Bulls fan. I kind of go back and I'll root for the Bulls, like when they're in the playoffs and stuff, which hasn't been for a while. But when I moved to Wisconsin, it's like I've never really had an NBA team. I'm going to adopt the Milwaukee Bucks as my new favorite team. And I was going to go to opening when I moved here in 2014. I was going to go to opening night, and I just didn't. And then I tried watching games on TV, and I couldn't get into the NBA. I love college basketball, but I've not since the 90s have I been able to really engage with the NBA. This year was actually the closest. I actually watched several games early in the season, but then when baseball comes on, it's just baseball takes my attention away, and that's what happened this year. And I actually haven't really watched. I don't watch too many Cubs games, but I'll have MLB Network on a lot and watch. I like the cut-ins, so I haven't really watched as much baseball as I really normally do. So I think that's about. There was a couple other things I talked about that. I think I'll save that topic for another day. Just one other thing. Top Series 2, some blasters came out. I think on Walmart. I'm skipping Series 2. I've never been a big Top Series 2 fan. And really, I'm not a big flagship guy. The only reason I do Series 1 is because it's the first product of a new year. And so it's that excitement that, oh, it's the end of January. We've been in this winter hellscape for 3 months, and this means spring is near, baseball is close, and I get to see the new cards for 2021 or whatever year it is. That's really the only reason I get into flagship. And it's Series 1. Series 2, I really have no interest in. Series 2 typically doesn't have any good rookies because the rookie cards are saved for Series 1 and update. Series 1, you'll get some of the guys who debuted late in the season. Your late July or August, September call-ups could go into Series 1. Series 2 usually is only guys that like debuted because the cutoff is, I think, like April 30th or May 15th. No, it couldn't be May 15th because we're only at June 10th. So I think it's like if they debut like in the first couple of weeks, it's early to mid-April, maybe the end of April for cutoffs for players that made their big league debut to get a rookie card in Series 2. And then so that's why a guy like Jarred Kelenic is not in Series 2, because he was past like the deadline to get into the set. Because he debuted after that deadline. So Jarred Kelenic will, 99%, he'll be in Topps Update. And, Topps Update is kind of saved for like all the guys that debuted that year up until a certain date. So, some of the guys that we'll see in Update, I can't think of who else debuted this year. Probably Yermin Mercedes. I don't think he was in Series 2. I'm sure he was not on a short list of Topps of a Topps checklist going into 2021. So Yermin Mercedes will likely be a rookie in Topps Update. Jarred Kelenic will be in Topps Update, and I don't think there's really been any others that have debuted to to this point that'll get a rookie card in Topps Update. So maybe Wander Franco. I think Wander Franco. It's the whole kind of the Chris Bryant saga. They've got to wait till whatever date it is. And I think that date is coming up within the next few weeks. So if Wander Franco does get the call here in the next couple of weeks, I think the deadline for Topps Update is like the end of July, like mid-July, like right around the All-Star break. And actually it might be the All-Star break. So if Wander Franco makes his debut before the All-Star break, we'll probably see him in Topps Update. But even then, they could hold him for Series 1 just to have that flashy, here's Series 1, Wander Franco, he's going to be in Series 1. So that's the fun of Topps Update, is which rookies will be in Topps Update, because that's and Topps Update's also the set that there's not as many rookie cards, singles in Topps Update, because there's no factory sets of Topps Update. Topps Update is not in factory sets. So that's kind of, it makes a Topps Update rookie card not as common as a Series 1 Joe Adell, because there's going to be millions of Joe Adell rookie cards because they produce a ton of, and I think the production is higher on Series 1 than it is on Topps Update. So there's less made. You're going to get a Joe Adell rookie card in every factory set, and they've got how many different versions now of factory sets. So they pump Series 1 and Series 2 to the moon between retail, hobby, and the factory sets. So it'll be interesting to see who makes their debut in the next month to get into that, that possible range of getting a Topps Update rookie. What's up, Jenny? Good morning. Brad's got a case of update coming. I was talking with David yesterday, and I said I was skipping Series 2. I may even skip Allen and Ginter, which is like Allen and Ginter is that's my bread and butter, but I'm just I'm sealed wax. Maybe my fatigue is on sealed wax. I'll probably, once we get Ginter comes out July 23rd. Once we get closer, I'll get those vibes, and I'll probably, if I can get them on the Topps website, maybe I'll buy a couple hobby boxes from the Topps website. But other than that, the only other wax that I'll pick up would be Topps Heritage Miners. That's one of my favorite products. Was the first case I ever opened a few years ago. So Heritage Miners, and then like if I can get Bowman Draft at a somewhat decent price, I'll buy that. But really, I'm kind of out on a lot of sealed wax. Just gonna kind of lay low on that. Now, if I can get some, like the Bowman Blaster deal that I was talking about earlier, maybe I'll go back and maybe I'll throw an offer out and see if I can get them down a little bit. So I kind of rambled on because it was a guide to panic selling, and I have some thoughts that I didn't really get to. Kind of went in different directions. So I've actually, on my whiteboard, I have like 5 topics. I kind of touched on a couple. I skipped one, touched on a couple. And kind of the main focus on today was about panic selling, and I didn't really get all my thoughts out. So I'm going to write that down for tomorrow, panic selling, because I have some more thoughts on that. I'll talk about tomorrow's Friday. I will try to go live tomorrow morning. Yesterday I'm trying to balance my time. Where today I'm skipping the morning lawn, but then tonight I'll have to run the sprinklers, and so tomorrow we'll see. Like, we're not supposed to get any rain. It's going to be hot and sunny like for 2 weeks. My yard looks like it's been burned by chemicals. I don't know what happened. I mowed on Saturday, and it was it was like this length that my fear was if it's going to, because usually I'm like, it's, if I don't mow today, it's going to rain tomorrow or the next day, and then it's going to be wet and it's going to clog up my blades and it's going to be just a hassle. So I'm like, I'm going to mow Saturday. I'm going to be out of town Sunday and Monday. So let's just mow now. And it, we actually had rain in the forecast a couple days, and it didn't. We got like almost like 5 miles south of here, we got almost an inch of rain. We got zero here. So I mowed, and then I even ran the sprinklers after I mowed. And then I left town Sunday morning, got back Monday afternoon, drove up, and my yard's brown with some green patch. Like it just, like what happened? My neighbor even came out. He monitors my lawn. He's retired, so he watches my lawn more than I watch it. And he's like, "What happened to your lawn?" I don't know. It's, yeah, my grass is crunchy. I'm like jealous of Herman's constant severe thunderstorms because we haven't had rain in 2 weeks. I love the 90 degrees and sunshine, but I don't like running around with sprinklers all day trying to get my grass to not look like the Vegas desert. So that's where I'm at. So hopefully I'll go live tomorrow. Up in the air right now, 50-50 on if I go live tomorrow morning. But if I do, it'll be 6:45 a.m. So I went a little long today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check out Brad on the Texas Card Dude channel. I've been watching him in replay. And that's all for now. So have a great Thursday, and we might chat tomorrow.